Hey guys, welcome to my video. I know it's been a long time that I have not uploaded here, and I had my reasons. So this video is just like a little Hey guys, I know I have not uploaded on this channel for a while now, so I wanted to get back on here and put out this video as to the reason as to why I was not active on YouTube. And from now on, I do plan on putting up more videos, hopefully this time. Well, the reason which, I was not here is because I had plastic surgery. I had plastic surgery, I believe it was June 13th or something like that of, this past year, 2022. I talked a little bit between my videos, but I haven't really gotten into it. I have lost about 100 pounds in like the past 2 years. And as I lost weight, so did my boobs. All my life, I've never been this thin actually. I've always been like more of like a girl that was around like 125 pounds. Like the thinnest I was from what I remember in high school was like I was about 117, 120 pounds. 125 was like my comfort time. And then in college, I crept up to 135 pounds. And then from there on, the numbers just kept rising and rising. I had 2 kids, but whenever I was around like when I was like in high school, I always had like nice boobs, when I was like around like 117 pounds, I was like a 34D, around like a 34C to a D. And then, as I started to gain weight, my boobs just got bigger and bigger. And then after I had my 2 girls, they were actually very big, but I was a bigger girl. I was about 200 pounds at that time. Keep in mind, I'm only 5'1". And at one point, I had crept up to like 203 to like 207, almost 210 at times. So as I gained weight, so did my boobs. And at one point, like I just did not even like my boobs because they were so big at that point. But I was always used to like, being the girl that was able to wear the cleavage. So, and then I decided to take control of my life and decided to lose weight. But, before all of this knocked in, I would always be like yo-yo dieting, gain a little bit, lose a little bit. And it was just so annoying and frustrating. And I do have thyroid issues. So after I had my first daughter, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. I don't know if that affected it, but, in my mind it did. And I was like, I just can't lose weight because of this and that. Anyways, I've always had digestive issues. It runs in my family. And eventually it caught up with me. And, I was hospitalized in the ER one time. And then at that time, before I went to the ER, I had gone to urgent care because, I kept having this urge to like have to go to the bathroom, but there was nothing in my system at this point, not to be too graphic, but I always felt like I had to go to the bathroom and all that would come out was just blood because there was nothing left in my system at this point. This went on for like 2-3 weeks. I keep going to urgent care and they told me I was diagnosed with like, you have like some sort of a bug in your system. They gave me some medication which didn't help. So it was like constantly I was just losing a lot of weight. I was going to the bathroom a lot, this and that. And then finally I decided to go to the ER after a couple of weeks because I was just so weak at this point. I kept running a fever, not feeling well, always in the bathroom, can't eat anything. My stomach feels like it's in knots. And finally they told me, oh, you have ulcerative colitis, which is, from my understanding, is also like, some sort of a Crohn's disease. Okay, I took the medication they gave me. They said, don't do this, that, follow up with what are they called? The gastro doctor or whatever. But, I decided not to care about that. And, I went on with my life because I was feeling good after all the medication, this and that. Everything was fine. Fast forward about a year after that, I got it again. And this time it was worse. And then, you know, at that time, you know, just this video is not really all about that, but whatever, to cut it short, I had to change the way I was eating. I was on like a strict diet for like a while, and because of that, I started to lose weight. And since I lost a lot of weight throughout this whole process of, you know, it did help me that I was going to the bathroom a lot too. I was like, you know what, Estra, like, you're starting to look good. You feel good in your own skin finally after all these years, because I just hated the way I looked. I was always dressed in like leggings and like oversized clothes, and I just did not like myself. The only thing I did like was my cleavage, though. You know, I had, you know, nice big boobs at that time. But, you know, I was like, forget it, you know, this and that. You got to keep going on with this diet. So whatever. I did manage to lose a lot of weight sticking to a diet and exercising a lot. And so I lost close to 100 pounds. And then what happened was, like, for the first time in my life, like, I was good till like I was 135 pounds, 130 pounds. You know, my boobs were still good. I was doing like those videos, the try on holes, and if I did wear like the right push-up bra to it, would look all good. And then all of a sudden, once like I hit 130 pounds, 125, and I started getting thinner than that, my boobs just like, they were all gone and they looked hideous. You know, I was just left with like two like balloon sacks, and like I felt so ugly. And like now, whatever I wore, it just, you know, it wasn't like I had small boobs and they were nice and perky and they sat up here, like that would be fine with me. But whatever I wore, it was just like all this extra skin that was left from my big boobs from before. So even if I did try to wear like a push-up bra or try to bring the girls together, I would just have like folds of skin here that just looked like, I don't know, it just looked so bad. So like, I refused to wear anything that was low cut. I was always covering my boobs, and then I started to feel like, you know, I'm too thin now, and, you know, my boobs are horrible. It really affected my self-esteem. So then I have looked into getting a boob job, but, you know, those are very, very expensive. I live in New Jersey, and anywhere around here gave me ridiculous quotes, and I was not going to be able to afford that. I even thought about going back to my home country, which is Turkey, to go get my boobs done. But, you know, it's all good. The prices are great there, and I was going to get amazing service. Like, you stay at like these beautiful like hospitals that look like hotels. And it's great. But like, if you live in Europe, that's great. But from the US to travel all the way to Turkey to get that kind of a surgery, like, just the ticket was a lot of money for me. You know, the price of the surgery was reasonable, but the ticket just to go there, and then, you know, I would have to stay there for a long time because the flight is long. So I wouldn't be able to get back on a plane, and I didn't have anyone to take care of me there and all this stuff. So I crossed that out of my mind. I decided to, after going through everything, going into different states and asking for prices, this and that, I settled on going to Florida, Miami, to get my boobs done. And I know it's like a hot destination. A lot of people go there. And compared to New Jersey, the prices are like slashed in half. So, but it's hard to pick a place. You're only looking at pictures, this and that. I did get a few prices from different places, and like, I never clicked with anybody through all of this process till I came across a page called Boutinic Aesthetics. And they were located in Miami Lakes, Florida, but their page was not as big as like some other people that I found on Instagram. Anyways, they were not like that many before and afters, you know, especially last year. Now they have more. But I reached out to them, and I came across this girl named Melissa. And when I talked to her on the phone, she called me, like, she was just so sweet. Like, she just understood everything, this and that. And I was actually looking to get a tummy tuck too, which, you know, I'll show you guys my tummy if you guys are ever interested later on, where like, it's not really sagging. It's not like a tummy tuck situation, but I had a belly piercing when I was younger. And because of that, where the belly piercing is right now, like, it just looks like sad, droopy, like a sad face right around that section. And I didn't know if just for that, the pain of going through a tummy tuck was worth it for me. And I had spoken to a lot of people that would be like, oh yeah, get it. And, you know, I actually did want to get a BBL too. And I had asked a lot of places, and the response I always got was like, you are too thin right now. You know, you need to gain weight in order for us to perform even a skinny BBL on you. But I did not come all the way here, lose all this weight to gain more weight. Like, I was too scared. I was like, you're not going to do that because, you know, like, I'm on a strict thing. You know, I'm eating these things. This is what I'm doing. This is what's working with me. And I don't want to, like, screw that up. So anyways, I spoke to the girl, and she was like, you don't need a tummy tuck, honey. Like, I think, like, you're just so, like, insecure about your boobs that once you fix that situation, you're not even going to worry about your stomach. Which, you know, she was right. Anyway, she's so nice, this, that. Everything was great. We agreed upon a price. And they kept promoting, oh, Dr. What was his name? Torres. So, like, that was, like, the big doctor on their page. I don't know if he's, like, more of, like, a popular doctor, this and that. And she was like, you're going to have Dr. Torres, this, so put in your deposit, this, that. So, you know, they just want the money. Keep that in mind. So, you know, I'm all nervous, whatever. You know, I'm like to my husband, should I do it, this, that? You know, I don't know if I could trust these people. He's like, just do it. Just do it. You've been wanting it. It's killing you, you know. So I was like, okay, fine. So I go, I put in my deposit, and, you know, everything is all like beautiful, beautiful. Once I put in my deposit, now Melissa doesn't want to talk to me anymore because she was only the person that would, you know, schedule you in and take your deposits from you. And then you get a surgery coordinator, which I have on my phone. What's her name? Genesis. Yes. Genesis was my surgery coordinator, and I hated her. From this point on, I kept asking myself, like, are you sure you want to go through with these people? She was all over the place. Whatever. I decided when I was going to get my surgery, and, you know, I talked to her about it, this and that. And last second, she decided that she's going to change my doctor on me. She was like, oh, you're not going to have Torres. You're going to have someone called Fermin Morales. You know, because he's not available on the day that you want to come in for your surgery. And, you know, I had already, like, gotten everything scheduled for that day. You know, I need somebody to take care of my kids. I need somebody to go there with me. So it's like, I can't switch out the date at this point. So I was like, okay, fine. You know, it's okay. I'll take on another doctor. But, like, could you please show me his work? It took her maybe like a week to find like 2 pictures. Now I'm just like so nervous. Like, all I see is this man doing tummy tucks, but I don't see him doing, tummy tucks is his specialty. I don't see him doing any boob jobs. So, like, now I'm nervous, this and that, whatever. This lady is annoying me. And then, you know, you have to go through your history, you know, what medications you're taking, what needs to be done before you get there, all your pre-op and everything. And since I have thyroid issues, she told me you need to stop drinking your thyroid medication a week prior to surgery. And I asked her I called her, I believe, 3 times to ask her, you know, with my list, because I have glaucoma, this and that, what I should stop taking, what I should continue. I have cholesterol. She kept telling me, stop taking your thyroid medication. My sister was like, hell no, like, I'm going to call them again just to make sure. I don't want you to, like, go there and be, like, having an issue. So she called for the 4th time again, asking her, please ask this and that. She said, no thyroid. Okay, fine, great. It's all good. So I noticed when it was time for, like, you have to, like, make like your initial deposit and then half of your payment, and then a couple of days before you got to make your full payment. On those days, Genesis was always on top of it. If she told me she was going to call me the next morning for the payment, she was calling me. But if it was a question if I had, Genesis was nowhere to be found. I had to call her through the office because she would, like, answer her regular line. But at this point, I had just given them, like, all this money, and I was so stressed out. I was like, I'm just gonna, like, I don't know what to do, you know. I wanted to break down and cry. And then I found somebody that went through with Fermin Morales through Boutinic Aesthetics. So I decided to contact her. So we started talking back and forth. Very sweet girl. She told me she got a tummy tuck. She didn't get anything, you know, boob related. But, like, she liked the doctor. You know, she told me how it was. Like, this is Miami. Like, don't expect so much. You get what you... Like, you get what you want, and then you're kind of out of there. Like, don't expect any, like, sympathy from anybody. It's crazy world, you know? So I was like, okay, fine. But she did comfort me. She showed me pictures of her before and after, and he did a good job. So I was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna go through with it. So I get there the day of my pre-op appointment. First of all, there was no place called Boutinic Aesthetics. I don't know if they actually have a location called Boutinic Aesthetics, but the girl that I spoke to before had told me Boutinic Aesthetics is the same as Miami Lakes Surgery or something, Miami Lakes Plastic Surgery. They have two things on Instagram, and they're both the same. So I was given the address of Miami Lakes Plastic Surgery, like a little tiny place. Okay, looks fine. Nobody there speaks English. Everybody speaks Spanish, but that was kind of like how it was there in Florida, in that section at least. So it was kind of frustrating because like everybody was just speaking Spanish, especially because I don't understand. So I constantly feel like they're talking like shit about me, and I don't know what they're talking about. Anyways, I get in. You never see the doctor for your pre-op, which the girl before told me that you don't see the doctor either. But I did see a woman that was very nice. She was very sweet. She said she was his assistant. I don't know if she is. Anyways, we went through the whole process, but it wasn't anything I was expecting. Like, I wasn't given like prosthetic, what are they called? The implant to try on to see how it would look. It was kind of like, what size do you want to end up with? And I was like, I would like to be like a big D, I'd like a full cup. She was like, oh, you sure you don't want to be a C? And the girls are there like, you would be better with like a C cup boob. And I was like, no, like, I'm going under the knife. I want like fake looking boobs. Like, I don't want them to look natural. Like, I want them to stand out. So she's like, okay, then we'll go with 500 cc. Like, she decided. And in my mind, like, I didn't know, this is such a hard decision. Anybody that's going to go through it, like, I can't tell you what to choose, really. We knew that we were going to go under the muscle for me because I had no like fat tissue or anything that would be to hide it better. And I knew I didn't want saline. I wanted silicone implants, because the saline with somebody with such like skinniness, usually I've always seen like the rippling of the skin and stuff, and I didn't want that. So she said 500 is good for you. You'll be like a nice D, double D with that. And in my mind, when I was watching other YouTubers, I was thinking around like 400, 450. Like, that's what I've seen as like looking good on these girls. But I also know that cc's are not really that much of a difference. So I was like, okay, 500 cc. But then like my husband was telling me, you're gonna regret it. I know how you are. You like to go really, really big. I think you should go bigger. But at that time, I don't think, they haven't really talked to me about it, but I don't think somebody my size maybe could have accommodated that. I don't know, but they were kind of set like 500 is your limit. Like I said, language was kind of a barrier here and there. So I don't know if that was because of my anatomy that they thought 500 was the limit, or that was like what the doctor was comfortable doing for me. Anyways, so I had my pre-op with her, this and that. The next day I go in for surgery. I meet up with like the doctor himself. I met him last, but before him I met up with like the anesthesiologist and all of that. And the anesthesiologist was furious that this girl Genesis told me to stop using my thyroid medication. He was like, is she crazy? I was like, I talked to her 4 times. Like, now I'm nervous. I'm about to like break down and cry because I came all the way here. I spent all this money. I booked this like hotel. I have people taking care of my kids, and now you're telling me that it's very dangerous for me to go into surgery if I had stopped taking my thyroid medication, that I should have been on it. Like, come on. I asked this freaking moron girl like so many times. Why? Why would you like not ask when I told you, please ask the nurse, please ask somebody that knows what they're doing? Because I know you don't. Like, you're dumb. Like, I could tell the way you talk to me, you're dumb. You don't know what you're doing. Anyways, so whatever. And then, he still finally agreed that I could go through with the surgery. So that was a relief. I met with the doctor. He was sweet, man. He was a nice guy. He told me, it's a good thing that, you did through the pictures come here thinking you were going to get a tummy tuck, because there's nothing, like no extra skin really for you to be getting a tummy tuck, this and that. And the one thing though that I felt a little bit weird is like I kind of felt skinny shamed there. I don't know, like it was just like he was like, oh, like you need to eat a little bit, you know, you look unhealthy, you know, I know that you wanted a BBL, but you know, you are way too skinny, and you know, you need a little meat on your body even if you don't decide to get a BBL. Like I didn't like that part of him, like kind of like you're there, you're vulnerable, you're standing naked next to somebody and they're measuring and doing all this and then telling you like, you know, all this negative things. That's not what you want to hear. Anyways, though, I got into the surgery room. I didn't even know that they were ready to take me in. Like the process was pretty quick. So I was kind of happy about that. So because it didn't build anxiety. Like I thought that they just called me into the other room to ask me a few questions. I was with my sister in this room. They didn't say anything. I left to the other room and bam, like I was in the operating table already. I was like, oh, all right. You know, I wasn't ready for this, but it was kind of good. At least that way, you know, I wasn't so nervous. All I remember is waking up and like when I opened my eyes, I could feel somebody putting on my clothes on me. They put me in the wheelchair and boom, I was out of there. They didn't want me there anymore. I was done. I wasn't even like fully like up, but I was done. All I remember is like they wheelchairing me to my sister. My sister put me in the car. I was in and out, like zoning in and out in the car as she was driving me. I felt no pain. I got to the Airbnb where we were staying. It was all fine that day. Everything was okay. I was under the influence of the drugs. The next day I woke up, I was like, oh, you know, this is not so bad, you know. I don't know why people were making such a big deal. So I was like, you know, I want to look good for my, you know, post-op appointment, you know, because, you know, I'm that type of a person. If I take care of myself, I'm in a more positive mood. So I put on my makeup and I was looking all cute and whatever. Well, my face was looking cute. Here was not looking cute because my boobs were all the way up here. They were like this and they were stuffed with like all this, you know, whatever the hell they put in there. Cotton and whatever. So my boobs looked like this. They were going to come out of my mouth. So I looked really hideous. And then I had the compression socks on. But my face looked cute. So I get there, waiting in the waiting room. And then all these women are like, oh, are you sure you wanted to go that big that we're waiting there? And I'm just like, oh God, did I make the mistake of my life? Do my boobs look hideous? Like, do they look, you know, like, I don't know. Because, you know, now I'm just like, oh my God. Because I was wearing like these little like biker shorts. And, you know, with all this stuff and being up here, I guess it just looked so big on top. Then I looked weird. So now I'm like, oh God, what did I do? This and that. So I go in. I have my post-op. And I don't see the doctor. Mind you, I only saw him once when I went into surgery. That was the last time I've ever seen my doctor. I've never seen him again. In the post-op this time, I didn't get the girl that was there for my pre-op. It was another gentleman. He said he worked with the team. Nice guy. You know, he was a younger guy. He looked. He said everything was fine, this and that. Oh, and then they were like, oh, you feel good today, right? And I was like, yeah, you know, I do feel good today, you know. And then like they laughed. It's because, oh, they're like, oh, because before like we put in a painkiller through the nipple. So you're going to feel good today. But, you know, the pain might start coming in tomorrow. And he laughed at me like, oh, I'm in trouble. I was like, all right, all right. So I get home and sure and behold, yes, the pain did come. It was not that easy. Like it was the first day. I had pain, but, you know, I got through it. It's just annoying that you feel like, you know, especially they cut under the muscle, like you feel like you can't do anything with your arms, like you can't pull your body weight up, like it's kind of annoying. So for like the next 2-3 days, I was like really high off of those drugs. Those drugs really, really got to me. So I was sleeping in and out, and it was kind of like I was able to go use the bathroom and wipe myself, but like the first, I think maybe day or two, I couldn't pull up my pants on my own. So my sister would have to help me pull up my pants. So that was kind of annoying. I had, after that day, the next day, I had a high fever. So then I started to get panicked, you know, thinking, oh my God, is there an infection? Is something happening to me? This and that. So I called them. They were actually nice enough to say, oh, come in. Once she heard that I have a fever, she was actually concerned and she told me to come in. So I went in, they did a quick check. She said everything looks good, nothing looks like it's infected. And then I came back, and after that I never had a fever, thank God. Everything was okay. I traveled back to New Jersey on the 7th day, I think. the flight was a little bit rough, you know, going up in the air with the air pressure, like my boobs felt like rock hard. Whenever I walked, they would feel so heavy and hard anyways, and being in the airport, traveling really like made me feel really like, ugh. Anyways, though, I got through all of that. Now I feel better, but there was always an issue. I'm still gonna go on, like, in case you guys looked up into Boutinic Aesthetics. Like, I don't know if I would recommend them or not recommend them. You know what I mean? Like, what I got in the end result is nice. I don't know if it's the best result. I'm still healing. It says it's gonna take a year for me to heal fully. From my experience, what was annoying me, and the reason I didn't want to take videos, is that my left boob dropped really quickly. My right boob did not. My left boob has always been my bigger boob. My right boob hasn't been. So that is one issue that I told them, like, maybe I should go with a bigger implant on this side. But they were against that. I don't know why. I don't know. You know, I just couldn't get across to them. She was like, it'll be fine. You won't even notice it. But I still notice it. My left boob is bigger than my right boob. But whatever. You know, it's not like I'm trying to show off my boobs to people. Like, you can't tell when I'm wearing, you know, a shirt. So it doesn't really matter. So I guess maybe my left boob being heavier, or I'm not a lefty, so my left side dropped much faster than my right side. My right side is still higher than my left side. I have contacted them 3 times about this issue. And she was all like, oh, send pictures, this, that. But like, nobody ever gets back to me. So I am frustrated. So yes, you do get to pay less. If everything goes smoothly, you're amazing. Everything is amazing. But if you do have a problem, and especially being out of state, you're going to have an issue. But it's because it's not like, hey, you know, I have this issue and I can stop by the office and say, check me out. You know, I have to send what you might call a picture, or do like a video call. And it's just with dumb people that work there. It's not with anybody that actually knows what they're talking about. It's hard to get a hold of somebody that knows what they're doing there. It's just, you know, people that have no experience with this, just sitting in the front desk answering the phone call. She's not gonna know. She can't give me answers. So it's like, I'm annoyed sending her a picture that she has to go show to the doctor, which she never does. So maybe if you live in that area and you could just go into the office, it'll be a different experience for you. If you do have a problem, you can go, but I can't go there. So it's just, you know, I've just been reading up on my own, and, you know, they were like, please do not judge your boobs till like 1 year is out. The right one is dropping, but at a much slower rate than the left one. Left one's already in place. It's been like that for like maybe like the past 2 months. 2 months ago, it was already in place. This was really, really high. It started to come down lower. Like, I see it coming down lower, but it's still not at the same height as my left boob. But like I said, I'm giving myself till the 1 year mark to not judge them. And if they're still going to bother me at that point, you know, I'm going to have to find like another doctor to go have a look at this, because I don't think I'm going to be in Florida going back to them. I don't even know if I want to like try to contact them after the year is up to say, hey, this is still like this. But yes, I went with a high profile. For anybody that's interested, I love my boobs like 1,000 times better than what they were. Everything I wear looks nice now. And I think the size, like now, like I'm just like, I wish I should have gone bigger, but I think that's what everybody says. But then also in my mind, I'm like, I'm a mom, you know, I have a different type of lifestyle where like my boobs are like, I could just cover them up and nobody could tell that I have a boob job. Like, they don't stand out. But then if I want to, you know, with the right bra, I could make them stand out. So maybe they are the perfect size for me. I have not decided. If I had the opportunity, maybe I would have gone with like a 650 or something, because I know 100cc is not going to do anything. Like when I read up on it, so maybe 600-700, but then also maybe somebody with my height, like it just, you know, I did get a boob implant and a lift at the same time. Like what the girl did tell me was that if you go any bigger than a 500cc, your boobs are going to sag with time. Like, yes, you are getting a lift, but like it's not a miracle. Time and age, you know, and the weight of your boob is gonna weigh down again with time. So you might want to come back here a couple of years down the road and say, hey, look, I had a boob lift, but my boobs are down again, which I did read that up. So I'm just like, maybe she was right. She was like, you know, for you, I wouldn't go bigger than a 500 if you want them to stay nice and perky. Like, if you go any bigger, like you're just gonna lose the boob lift effect that you just went through all the pain for. As far as my healing, my scars are still there. I have like the anchor like here, like this, and then through the nipples. The nipples are still like swollen actually. They're not like completely like that, like not all the time, but like at certain times, like where they were sewn, like you could kind of like tell, you know, they're not like completely like flat, but you know, they're getting better each day. They're definitely not what they look like when I first had it done. The around my nipples look horrible, like they were like sticking out. So they are much nicer, and you know, I do love my new cleavage. I don't know, I'll show you guys a little bit for anybody's that's interested. Right now I do have a bra on. It's an no wire bra though. It's kind of like this, you know, it's kind of like a sports bra kind of here, but then there are like parts here, but there is no underwire in it, so it does help bring the girls together. This is how it looks from the side profile, and this is how they look from the top. They look really good, you know. I think they look really good. Everybody is like, you know, everybody that knows that I had them done is like, oh my god. So I am happy. I'm not going to say I regret my decision. I'm not going to say I regret going to Boutinic Aesthetics. But, you know, if you do have, if the price difference is like $2,000-$3,000 more and you could have it done in the state that you're in, I would say do that. Because, like, you're going to go out of state. You're going to end up, your flights, your hotel does add on, and the food that you eat, like an additional $2,000-$3,000. But mine was like more than double the cost. And just to tell you guys, Boutinic Aesthetics charged me $5,000, I believe, for my boob lift with the implants. And, you know, then I had to pay for the flights and all of that extra. But over here in New Jersey, I've gotten quotes of like $10,000, $11,700, around that. So to me, it still made sense because, you know, I saved a lot of money. If I wanted to get another plastic surgery, I don't think I would still do it in New Jersey. It's just too much for me. I would still probably go and do it somewhere in Miami, or I would like love to actually go back to Turkey if I was there on vacation. If I already had like a family event happening and I happened to be there, I would rather do it over there. For now, that's all I wanted to say. So because of that, and because of my boobs looking weird, and like, you know, when you first get your boobs done, they're like over here at your collarbone. So like all of last summer, that's how my boobs were. And you know, when the summertime, you're wearing tank tops, this and that, it's a lot more apparent. But that was the only time that I could get it done, in the beginning of June. So the whole summer, my boobs were like over here, and they look more like boxy. They're not rounded out. So I looked really bad. So I didn't want to try in any clothes looking like that. And after the summer was over, there was like that. This one was dropping a lot nicer than this one, and it was very apparent. So like that's another thing. Like I just didn't want to be like trying on clothes where like I looked wonky. And it was actually painful to like keep raising my, like I am a back sleeper, and I sleep like this with my arms up, and for like a while, for like a good 6 months, I could not lift up my arms to sleep like this when I was sleeping. Like they had to be down, like it would hurt so much. Like only recently, like the past month, I'm able to pull up my arms and do whatever I want. When I'm doing exercises, you know, I haven't been exercising like I used to, especially the chest area. When I do, it's weird. When I am like a certain way, like you see like the implant, you don't see it, but like I guess like the muscle, like it acts differently. It does look weird, but like you can't tell. That's just me, you know, because I know it's happening. Aside from that, hopefully I'm going to try to do like a Walmart haul next. I saw some cute stuff. I put it in my cart. So I'm going to place that order. But before I start to do that, I wanted to put out this video. If any of you have any more questions about, you know, going to Miami to get the surgery done, or about the place that I went to, this and that, or any of like my implant size or my healing process, this and that. If you have any more questions, like you could just ask them in the comments below, or if you guys want me to do like another video, I'll probably do maybe like a 1-year video, and hopefully at that time, please pray for me that this one drops to the same exact location and I won't have any problems. with this any complications, because I'm very scared because of that, because you could develop like some hard tissue, and that's why like the implant might not be going down. But they say if that happens, you usually have like some other discomforts that come with it, and I'm not having any other discomfort, so hopefully it's not an issue. So I'm waiting till, I'm being patient. They say don't judge your boobs till a year is out, so I'm not judging it. And that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys like now know why I was not here. Hopefully I will be here from now on. I'm gonna do a lot more try on videos for you guys. If you want me to try on a particular brand or like a particular type of clothes, this and that, if your body type is close to mine and you want to see it, I'm 5'1". Right now I weigh about like 105 to 109, around that range. So if you guys want to see it, please let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and answered like why I was not here, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.